Our next guest is a Board of Selectmen member, Jim Snyder Grant, and he's part of a group of individuals that filed a citizen petition this year for a special town meeting, and on behalf of the Climate Coalition. Jim, we'd love to hear more about this initiative and what you're looking to share about it leading up to town meeting. Good morning.
Thanks, John. It's great to be here. I'm so glad you're doing this show. So this work with the Acton Climate Coalition started before I was on the board. Back in 2019, as a member of Green Acton, we were talking about what we could do about climate change, which threatens, the life we have here in Acton. And one of our members, Fran Cummings, introduced us to these climate emergency resolutions that were being passed in countries and cities and states across the world. And they have three purposes. First is to just help encourage all the groups, the government and the businesses and the families in a town or a city or a state to start doing what they can right away about addressing climate change. The other purpose of this kind of resolution, it's written right into it, is to call on the state and federal governments to provide the kind of legal and regulatory and financial support we're going to need to make the kind of rapid changes we need, because we can't do it on our own. And finally, it's a great chance to do a lot of education and communication and learning about climate change and what we can do about it. To that end, we have put together a website, ActonClimateCoalition.org. And on that website, you'll see webinars that we've put together that have a basic presentation on the climate science and what we can do and what we need to do, and also a good chance for questions and answers. Sharon mentioned the webinar that we're doing on the 3rd, sponsored by the Senior Center. So anyone can contact Senior Center at actonma.gov to sign up for that. We also have webinars in the evening on the 1st of September and the 7th of September at 7:30. You can sign up for those on the website. And it's just been a great process. Part of what it's been is putting together this coalition of now 36 different organizations, faith communities, businesses, nonprofits, and the offices of both of our state reps to help out with this process of education and making progress on dealing with climate change. That was when I got to meet Sargam Noria, who's a rising senior at Acton Boxborough, and I've learned a lot from her too. Maybe she can tell her story.
Yeah. Hi everyone. My name is Sargam. I'm going to be a senior this coming September. I am a member of Sunrise Acton, which is our local hub of the Sunrise Movement, which is a youth-led environmental organization, and it's one of the members of the Acton Climate Coalition. So I thought I'd start off by talking about how I got involved in climate action. And it was really because I've spent a lot of my time outside. I remember a lot of my childhood memories are of me playing outside with my neighbors until it got so dark that our parents yelled at us to come inside. And as I grew older, I continued to spend a lot of time outside through soccer, cross country, and skiing. And the first time I heard about climate change, I think I was in elementary school. And I was really scared to hear that human activities were causing the destruction of our planet. And I had assumed that our leaders would take care of it because it just seemed like the only option that we had. But as I grew older, I realized that wasn't the case. And so when I reached high school, I joined the Environment Club resource force, and I got involved in helping fix the gas leaks in our town. And then I met people who are also really passionate about this issue. And we formed Sunrise Acton. And that was how I got how I met Jim and learned about the Acton Climate Coalition. So this spring, I heard that they were working on declaring a climate emergency in Acton, and I just knew that I had to get involved. And the reason that we are declaring a climate emergency is because it is an emergency. And we can't keep climate change in the background any longer, because the longer that we wait to take action, the worse that we're going to feel the effects of climate change. And every day that we're pumping out carbon emissions and other greenhouse gases, we're not feeling the direct effects of it, but they're happening right now. For example, we have a drought, and there's more effects to come, such as disruptions in food supply chains, and I think it's predicted that there's going to be 200 million climate refugees. So basically, it's a lot of predicted suffering, which is really scary and daunting. But we have a time frame right now where we can take action that our future is relying on. And since it's an emergency, individuals can't solve it. So we need a society-wide mobilization. And you might think that Acton is a small town and that we can't really make a difference. But we actually can, because our actions here in Acton will help inspire other towns to do the same. And it'll help us pressure our state and federal governments to pass the climate legislation that we need. And so now is our chance to take action and say that we want to live on a habitable planet in the future. And that is why we are doing this. Thank you.
Thank you, Sargam. That was a great presentation. It's very interesting to hear how you got involved, and it's great to see such a wide group of people, both students and residents at large, and select board members involved in this effort. It's nice to see such a wide group of people involved in this very important initiative. So hopefully we'll have a chance to ask you some questions about this after we conclude the program here. And thank you very much. Here's a question about the Climate Coalition initiative. It's a question about what the nature of the article is that's being brought forward to town meeting. Is there a cost? Is there money being sought here to spend money on this initiative, or is there any money involved, I guess is the question.
That's a great question, John. Thanks for bringing it up. This is a non-binding resolution, which means there's no financial commitment in the article itself. It's a call to the executive side of Acton, the Board of Selectmen and the town manager and the staff, to consider investments. But any investments like that would have to come back to town meeting in a future budget, unless these are efforts that can fit within existing budget authority.
Thank you. How can people interested in participating in the Climate Coalition get involved?
I'd say the first step would be to get to the website, ActonClimateCoalition.org. There's a lot of information there about webinars, and there's also a contact form. You can be in touch with us with questions and ideas.
Okay, great. Do any of our guests have questions or further comments they want to bring forward here? Sargam, you ready to go back to school?
Almost, yeah.
It's going to be different this year.
It will, for sure. I chose the remote option, so it's going to be a completely new experience.
Good. Well, I wish you the best of luck, and thank you for your participation in this program and with the coalition as well. And thank you to all of our guests this morning and the team behind the scenes helping us out, Mark, Justin, and Austin. And we will see you all next week with the Jobless John program. Thank you, and enjoy the rest of August.